Hello, Muthoni here, and Happy New Year to all of you who have come here and journeyed over with me onto 2017. It's awesome to still have you guys here. If you're new to my channel, welcome very much. If you're not new, you're a returning subscriber, you're the real MVP. Hi. So this is my first video of the year. I'm so excited to make it. I have really been battling with myself about what video to make for my first video, like what I want it to be my first video of this particular year. And I have gone back and forth with a bunch of ideas, and finally, out of the blue, I remembered something. Like it was I was having a conversation with Nick, and then I remembered something that happened to me. I mean, it's over 10 years ago now. I think it was 2004. I think it would be an inspiring story to share, so I hope it's going to be inspiring. So yeah, let me just, this is me opening up bit by bit to you guys, because you guys are awesome. So yeah. So this story is just about being able to overcome anything, even when you feel like it's the end of the world. So over 10 years ago, in 2004, I was about to go to high school, and I got really sick, really sick. Like I was super sick to the point where I couldn't walk. I couldn't hold up a mug of tea, let alone an empty cup. I couldn't use my hands or my legs. So this was like now towards the end of 2003, right? I had done my exams, and this is the time when people start, like if you're in Kenya or in Nairobi, this is the time where people start looking for high schools or getting letters you receive and then deciding, is this the high school that I want to go to? And your parents are busy trying to find a school that they feel is the best for you or they can afford, and getting your uniform, making sure you're admitted, and all that kind of stuff. But for me, it was months of my mom carrying me on her back every time we'd go to the hospital. I used to cry when she would do that, because I used to feel like I was putting a lot on her. Because growing up, I've always been a problem child. And I don't mean naughty and stuff like that. But in our family, I think I got all the diseases that all my siblings were supposed to get in their entire childhood. So according to my mom, I started getting really sick when I was 8 months old. So having breathing problems, and it was a crazy childhood for me. I don't know if I've ever mentioned this here. I think I have in my facts video, where most memories of my childhood that I remember were of me in a hospital. I can tell you how many times I got sick. Like those moments you always remember. For other people it's like, oh, we went on vacation, my dad got me this, my mom did this for me. For me it's I had stomach ulcers. I had breathing problems, I couldn't walk, my bladder got sick, my eyesight. Like for me, that's what my childhood was. And so when this happened, I was like, when will I ever be normal? When will I not have to face these things? So it was months and months and months of nothing but tears on my part, a lot of hard work on my mom's part. And like, to make things worse, my dad lost his job around that same period. So my mom was the only one who was working, but she wasn't even going to work 90% of the time because she has to take me to the hospital. So it was just one crazy period. I didn't even think I was going to get into high school. And my mom was like, my mom was saying, no, it's okay, we'll find you a school you can go. Because we weren't even looking for schools. I had no uniform, I had nothing. Like, it's like, after that, I was done. Like, my life had come to a standstill at that point. So My mom was like, no, it's okay, we'll just get a day school after you're okay. And I was like, no, I want to go to a boys school, which is stupid. At this point, no, like for most people it was down for me to say I wanted to go to a boarding school, but for me, going to a boarding school meant focused. I will not have all these things that go around, with people at home, family stuff. I did not want anything that would interrupt my studies or whatever. But here I am with zero hope of even getting into a high school because I'm super sick, and maybe by the time we're now finally chilling and saying, okay, cool, now you're okay, let's go to school, they'll be like, oh, well, you didn't respond to our letter, so we gave your position to someone else. At that moment, I had lost hope, and would go to the hospital, and every time the doctor would whisper into my mom's ear, like, and in my head, I'm just like, okay, I'm about to die, man. This is the end of me. And then when I would ask my mom, oh, what did the doctor say? She's like, no, you don't have to worry about that. That's not your job. That's on me. Like, it's okay. So after doing that for, I think it was like 2 months, January came through, and I was still going to the hospital. I was getting meds. I was getting a bunch of injections because at first they didn't know what the problem was. So I was going through a bunch of what are they called? Tests. I was going through a bunch of tests. It was like I come in and say, okay, then do this test, and then something's like, okay, this doesn't tell us what's wrong with you. Then do this one. Then do this one. It took over a month before they discovered what was wrong with me. And by this time, when they're discovering this, I still can't walk. I can't use my hands. And I also, like, I used to get a really bad migraine on one side, like the left side of my head. I'll get a really bad headache that would be there for days. It doesn't matter how many painkillers you take, it's just there. So after like a month and a half, into 2 months, this is like now getting into January, I was getting better. So I was like telling my mom, yo, this school thing, high school. So at this point, I think we were like really broke because we'd used loads of money on me. I think at this point now my dad had gotten a job, but you see, he hadn't really worked a month to get his first salo. So I was feeling so guilty because after all that, they still need to chuck money for school fees, for uniform, for all these things. And my mom was like, that's not your job. Like, you don't worry. We'll find a way. Like, my mom is like the coolest person ever. So what she did, there's this cousin of mine, cousin by marriage, you know them. So where my aunt is married, they had a lady who was in a certain high school. So my aunt went to talk to the principal. The principal was like, okay, we'll give her a chance. And since I had performed well, they were like, yeah, sure, no problem. So first of all, that was exciting news because I was like, yes, I'm going to high school. But my mom was also very scared because she was like, I don't want you to be there alone after everything that's happened, because something might happen to you and you're like 2, 3, 4 hours away. How am I going to get to you if something happens? And I was just, my grandmother is an awesome person because I really wanted to go to a boarding school. And my grandma told my mom, let her go, because God will take care of her. That was what my grandmother said. It's like, you've already fought the battle, you've gone through the hardest bit of this situation, and if anything does happen, I'm sure the principal will do something. But we will pray and make sure it doesn't happen. And that's how I ended up in a boarding school. So when I went into school, I was also scared because here I am now. I'm in a new environment with new people. No one really knows. The principal knew, but the principal is not in the dormitories with us, right? And then the first day of school, I was actually sick the first day I went to school. And I had a really bad sore throat, and my voice was husky. And it was just one crazy experience. So it doesn't matter what you're going through. Like, I know some situations in life are crazy and scary, and they really take a lot of you and a lot from you, and they drain you to the point where you feel like you're about to give up, don't give up. As in, if there's something you really want to do and you know that's what you're meant to do, don't give up, don't stop. And in this new year, just challenge yourself and always try and look at the positive things. Even if things are going haywire and it looks like it's the end of the journey, I'm sure there's one thing you can pick that you're like, at least this one thing is happening. So when I went into high school, I was like, you know what, this is a second chance, and I'm gonna go, calm on it and be thankful for the life I have. And also, like, at that point, they said I needed a certain surgery that I have never had. I still have my moments where that shit kicks in, but I haven't, like, after that moment, I haven't been that sick. Once in high school, I got sick from same problem, but I haven't been that sick to the point where I'm like, I'm dying, this is the end of me. Honestly, I think people have put me through a lot more than that. So it doesn't matter how dull your situation looks. You can do it. Like, you can get through it. So this new year, all I want to preach is hope. And in this country, unfortunately, hope is something that is normally used against us as citizens. That's a sad thing, because that's what these leaders, I just like calling them politicians, because a leader is not the same thing as a politician. Our politicians are not leaders, they're just politicians. They're just here to play a game that is called politics. What they use against us is the fact that we always hope for a better tomorrow. And that's what they sell us. They tell us a bunch of nonsense and lies and about how they're going to make our lives better. And the moment they get into power, they forget they're your servants. And then what happens after that is everything you were hoping for happens for them. You were hoping for a better job. Sorry, I got that. You were hoping for a better salary? No, I wanted to increase my salary. Have you ever noticed how when these guys get into power, the first thing they try to do is actually increase their salaries? Yet they're the highest paid so far. Like, they're among the highest paid members of parliament anywhere in the world. Think about that. Go out and vote and just be hopeful. And if you feel like someone is stringing you along, take a breath, a deep breath, look them in the eye and call them out on their bullshit and tell them, no, I don't need this in my life. So we shall continue strong. I want to thank all of you who've come over with me and all of you who are joining. I am going to do my best this year to make things consistent and make sure that all these things are lining up and making sense, and I will do what it is that you want to see. I'll do videos of what it is that you want to see. I hope this video made sense. I know I was all over the place. It's very emotional for me. It's an emotional topic, because that was my dark hole. Not even a dark hole. For me, that was like the end of my journey. I thought I was done. I thought, that was the end of my life. But here I am. Over 10 years later. Still kicking. Yes! Suck on that, whoever that was who wanted me dead. Whatever that was. So, okay, I'm gonna sign off now because I feel like I'm about to start crying and I don't wanna do that on camera. One day I will cry for you guys. Just not today. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If there's anything that you would want me to help you with, or there's a story that you think you'd want to hear from my perspective, you can leave that in the comment section. If you want to know anything about my life, especially my past life, or things I've overcome, again, you can leave that in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Be sure to turn on your notifications so that you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. You don't want to miss out now, do you? See? Cool stuff. And if you like this video, give it a like, and that's all I had for today. I hope I'll see you in my next video. Bye.